Israel's strike undermined U.S. ceasefire proposal under the review in Doha. Do you think that the final statement will address Washington's role in trying to reach a ceasefire in Gaza? And also, of course, blessing the attack on Doha.
Yeah, I think because, of course, you know that the United States never officially announced that it greenlit the attack on Doha, even though they said, oh, we knew.
But the Israeli media said that.
Of course, yes, but we all know that. It's common sense, you know. Israel would never dare undertake such an undertaking without a U.S. green light. This is a U.S. ally. This is the country that hosts the largest overseas U.S. airbase.
I mean, it was officially announced by the Israeli media.
Yes, the Israeli media claims so, but the U.S. official stance is we knew about it on a very short notice and we warned the Qataris and that we are not happy about it. Yet it does not seem that they are really even making an effort to make themselves seem genuine. If you have seen Marco Rubio's statements yesterday, he said that word for word. He said this was unfortunate. We have to move past it. What happened has happened, and this will not affect our relationship with Israel. This is an affront to Qatar, basically. However, Qatar, of course, does have a very strategic relationship with the United States, and they are not willing to forfeit that relationship under any circumstances. And it seems that the United States is now attempting to placate Qatar by expediting the discussions and the negotiations on the defense pact between Qatar and the United States, which all the Gulf countries have been vying for, basically, because this defense pact will give them a status that is equivalent to NATO member states, meaning that the United States will be obliged to defend them if they are ever attacked by any country, of course, except Israel, because if Israel attacks the United States, I do doubt that the US will do anything. Yes. So unfortunately, Hala. So this is the situation. I don't think that Qatar will be eager to turn this Arab summit to a platform through which the U.S. would be criticized or bashed excessively. I think that the focus will be on condemning Israel. And maybe taking measures against Israel. And I think that is logical. This is logical common sense. And of course, as for the negotiations, they have been torpedoed by this Israeli strike on Qatar. Basically, this was the aim of the attack, by the way, in my opinion. The aim was not assassinate.
Yes,
basically.
The aim wasn't just to assassinate Hamas officials, but also to assassinate chances for a ceasefire.
Exactly.
Altogether.
The entire diplomatic process, because most of the Hamas prominent leadership have already been assassinated. And Khalil al-Hayya and Khaled Mash'al and others are not worth taking such a risk. But for Israel, what is worth taking such a risk is sabotaging all of the de-escalation efforts and the ceasefire negotiations efforts. And the U.S. did present a very appealing initiative, and Hamas was ready to accept this initiative. And when they were convening to issue their positive response, they were bombed. You know, this is how farcical it has become, Hala. So it's either one of two things. Either the United States, Israel has went out of control, and the United States is completely unable to control Israel, and I don't think that's the case. Or the U.S. is complicit with Israel, and that this is all for show. This is all to make it as if Israel and the United States are committed to diplomacy and finding a political solution or a political exit out of this crisis, while on the ground they obstruct all of the diplomatic initiatives and they engage in further warfare and creating certain reality on the ground that will make the displacement of the Palestinians and the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians from Gaza inevitable. And I think this is where the Israelis, what the Israelis are moving towards with American support and blessing. We are seeing now the carnage that is taking place in Gaza City. The ground offensive is imminent. The airstrikes have destroyed major parts of the city. Hundreds of people have died. Over about 300,000 people have been displaced already from inside the city. So Israel's sinister plan for continuing the genocidal war has been set in motion and is being implemented on the ground. And all of this noise about negotiations and about mediation and about the idea of a ceasefire and an exchange deal is all noise made by the Israelis and the Americans in order to deflect from what's happening on the ground.
Hmm.
While on the other hand, Egypt and Qatar are taking this mediation very seriously, and they are trying very, very arduously to reach a ceasefire. Hence, let's create a crisis between Israel and the mediators. Already, the relationship between Egypt and Israel have deteriorated to their worst condition since the 1979 peace treaty. And now with Qatar, of course, there is a rupture of relations between Israel and Qatar because Israel just bombed Qatar. So I think this was the true aim of this operation, Hala.
Yes. Mr. Omar, now, why do you think that the outcomes of the Emergency Arab Islamic Summit will be? How would it be? What should we expect out of this summit, realistically?
I think that the summit, its aim will be to solidate with Qatar regarding the aggression that it faced, and there will be many Arab and Islamic leaders. This summit will be a large one regarding the ministers and leaders, but the outcomes, I don't think that these outcomes will be a different that that the ones of the other summits, especially the summit that held in Baghdad and Egypt, uh, that refuses the measures and displacement of Israeli occupation and the call for ceasefire and to reshape and support the Egyptian mediator to ceasefire and to call the US to play its vital role and the EU and the international society to uh, pursue for ceasefire in Gaza Strip. This is my vision of what will occur in Al Doha tomorrow. Without so, this summit will not uh, end, or the outcome will be a NATO because it's a very difficult time, and these uh, ideas should be viewed before the war, not after, not during it.